Adam and Callum, what, in your opinion, is the future of luxury mobility businesses in the present day scenario? Could a business survive by renting out or leasing limos, watches, yachts, and aircraft? He's taking an opinion. What's our gut feeling? Needn't be
Oh,
with facts and figures. Interesting.
interesting.
Having just
Mm.
spent a week in Dubai, sitting on luxury yachts and driving around in nice cars. What's
Well, I'll
your
let you go
like?
first, mate. I'll let you go first, mate. I'm interested to hear what your opinion is first.
Yeah, look, I think it's better to rent than to own. I think there is actually a lot of services out there already that are in that space. So, like any business, it really comes down to, is there a need for it? And are you able to, what's your X factor? What are you offering different than everything else that's already out there? And I think, I'm having a lot of these conversations, so in terms of kind of the mastermind and the experimentation that we're talking about, Adam, like I'm starting everything now really heavily geared towards the end buyer and getting the commitments from them before I do anything else. And I spent the first 10, 15 years of my career doing it the wrong way around, building stuff and then going out and trying to sell it. And the whole process with investors that we do now is we go and say, what companies are you looking to buy? What companies are you looking to invest in? Let me go and find those companies, because we're overwhelmed with stuff and people trying to raise capital for a project. So investors are overwhelmed. You need to find out what it is they want. And I'd say with the luxury market, it's the same thing. And it all comes down to human psychology as well. We don't want to buy what you can sell. We want to buy what other people want to buy. Yeah, I was looking at the watch collection on the yacht the other day, and rarity was the bigger factor rather than price. It was like, well, there's not that many of these around. That's kind of the factor. So you need to figure out what's your differentiator.
Yeah.
So that'd be
Yeah.
my take. What's your take?
Yeah, I think you make a really valid point there. Unique selling proposition is always a plus. I wrote that down actually before. The other thing I was going to say to you as well, if you look at other businesses, I mean, most things have been invented, Callum, haven't they? In this day and age, it's really difficult to find something which is completely unique to the market. But if we look at something like Uber, for example, when they came to London, they destroyed the black taxi industry. And Uber doesn't do taxis, they just created convenience. That's all they did. And now obviously they create some collaboration, but it took years to figure that out. So what I would say is take a look at what the competition is doing and do like a comparison side by side and say, okay, so these guys do this, what can we do differently? you know uh, that's one task and activity that I do with a lot of my clients. The other thing I wrote down on here was how you're communicating to your clients as well, your
Mm.
which is again crucially important. You go back to psychology. I wrote down on here, how is it that you want to make people feel? So in the luxury homes industry, or luxury goods industry, for example, people are buying not necessarily transformation, they're buying convenience. They're buying how you're going to make people's life better,
Mm.
you know? So yeah, so you really need to tap into the psychology of how you want people to feel when they wear that watch, when they're in that limo,
Yeah.
when they're, so you're really tapping into memories and experience. I go back to Walt Disney. Walt Disney's he's in the industry for creating memory. Yeah,
Mm.
he's got Walt Disney Parks, but that's what he's known for, is creating memory. So how do you want to do that? And the other thing I wrote down here was exclusivity as well. So you're in a
Yeah.
market which is, exclusive. How do you then tap into what I call the marketing signals, or the marketing buzzwords of sense of urgency, exclusivity? There's limited amounts. It's for a limited amount. Think of Rolex in terms of like business.
Mm.
Rolex, once they've created certain limited editions, they might only have 50 on the market. So it's about kind of creating that exclusivity
Yeah.
and how you.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's very aspirational and very status driven,
Very
that
much, very
space.
much so.